Hi friends, I have a different idea for a summer activity. It's a little bit of an experiment, but it's an activity that's a little artistic, which hopefully you can fill your days with as well. So on the board, as I've done all throughout the school year, I have everything written in print, and way up at the top, it is an easy salt painting capillary action. So before we talk about the materials and the steps, a little bit of a review of something called capillary action, also known as capillarity, is a process and absorption of liquids through small gaps and holes of certain materials. So thinking about that, we're going to take a look at the different things we need for this salt painting activity. Materials are all listed here. We need heavy colored paper, salt, white glue, paper to collect salt, container for extra salt, watercolor paints, water, and paintbrush. Those three things often go together. So let's take a look at that on my tray right here. I put everything to collect. I have my heavy paper here, just a dark color, and this paper down to help collect the salt. Here I have the glue, watercolor paints, and let's get that all together here. So we can take a look at our step number 1. This is what we need to do. With glue, draw a design on paper, making sure glue lines are thick but not puddles. All right, so that's kind of fun. We don't have a marker. Or, oh, just have to open it all the way. All right, here we go. I'm just going to do a design. It said thick but not puddled. You know what puddles are. There's a difference. There, let me do that. Okay, that's my design. That's number 1 with the glue and the heavy paper. Number 2, with paper on top of other paper, that's what I have this yellow under here for, pour salt over glue, making sure salt is covered. All right, that's what I have right here, just regular table salt. So let me scoop that container over. I'll just set this in the center. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. It says make sure the glue is covered. Looks like the closer I get to the glue design, the easier it is to see where the salt is covering. It's more concentrated if I hold my salt container closer to the glue. Kind of blends right in, huh? Same colors. Okay, what do you think? Pretty well covered? Awesome. I think that's going to be good. Okay, I'll set that aside. So number 3, way at the bottom here, it says tap paper to get extra salt off. All right. So I'm going to do, I just kind of practiced with this idea. So I'm just going to put my container to help collect the glue right here in the center. So as I lift this up, let it just fall into that container. Wow, that in itself is quite the design. Tap, 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 it said. Okay. Set that aside and then put this in the center. Now comes the really fun artistic part as well with color. Number 4 here says wet the paintbrush and then choose a paint color. Okay, so I have a little bit of water in my container. Get my paintbrush really wet. Maybe so it's just all a little bit closer and easier. So let's say we practiced a little bit at school, and maybe some of you have done this at home where you can use watercolor paints. You know, the more your paintbrush is wet to get it really nice and colorful, round and round. Good, so I have that. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to look at step number 5. Carefully touch the brush to the salt and watch. carefully touch. Did you see that? Oh, I might come back and get a little more. That makes me think of another experiment. Once upon a time we had done one where we used milk color. I'm going to change my colors here. Remember how you have to do that? Put your brush back in the water, make sure it's clean. I'll come way over here to yellow. There's not a lot left, but we'll make use of what's in there for yellow. We had done a milk experiment where we dipped a Q-tip with a little bit of soap after we added drops of color into the milk. Oh, that was a beautiful design. So I'm going to come really close here. Maybe I need a little more water. Yep, I need a little more water. Do you see what's happening? I touch it, but watch, it just keeps spreading. Okay, I'm going to come over here and add a little bit of blue. Trick is having enough water on your brush, my friends. I can tell you that from what I'm doing right here. See how it keeps spreading as the salt with the glue absorbs? That's a pretty big space with salt and glue. When you do this at home, you might want to do half as big of a design with your glue and your salt. But here we are, that capillary action using salt and glue. Oh, did you notice how I had blue? And then I went without cleaning my brush just enough to make. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right there, my friends. When you do this, like I said, you might just want to have half as much. Let that dry. Put it up somewhere, and there you have a beautiful salt painting. Enjoy.